Hello, this is a Brave Knight Mercenary spotlight on Ceres. Ceres is a 4-star rarity support. Ceres' story is that she comes from a lineage of witches. Her mother was hunted due to being a witch, and Ceres was left an orphan. When the orphanage was being attacked, she used her powers to hold off the attackers, and then Barbara came to the rescue. She now joins Barbara and Callie to use her powers for good. Ceres' companion is Ava. Ava is a peer of Ceres' mother, and when Ava found out that Ceres' mother was killed, Ava took it upon herself to find Ceres and help stabilize Ceres' magic and help guide her. You know, now that I think about it, the more I look at Ava, she kinda looks like a grown-up sexy Megumin from Konosuba, except with a really dark attire. Nice. I'll briefly go over Ceres' skill gameplay style and provide some of my opinions on her. I won't be going over the details of her skills, but just the general parts of it. I linked the Brave Knight Encyclopedia in the video description where you can easily read on her stats and skill values. Ceres' first skill is Crit Ability Boost Bestowal. Ceres provides a stat enhancement that boosts her allies' crit rate and crit damage. It's worth noting that at later rank, this crit boost becomes very large, even rivaling many 5-star units, but this buff is removable. Ceres' second skill is Stats Weakening Immunity Bestowal. Ceres provides her allies with Stats Weakening Immunity. At plus 10 and above, it also provides Attack Interference Immunity. Ceres' third skill is Enhanced Barrier Bestowal. Ceres provides a barrier that increases the maximum threshold of damage reduction that her allies reduce, while also providing reduced incoming damage. This is an interesting skill that Brave Knight has not seen before, so I want to briefly touch upon it. Incoming damage reduction is provided by various immunity and barrier skills that reduces damage taken by a percentage. The maximum that it can reduce is 70%, but that stat can go far beyond 70%. Any incoming damage reduction that goes beyond 70% is mostly a wasted stat, but it can still be useful in balancing out debuffs that increases the damage that a unit takes. Ceres not only provides a huge amount of reduced incoming damage, but she also reduces the incoming damage taken by up to 95% as opposed to the original limit of 70%. This can almost make some units take no damage as a result. Ceres' awakening skill is Weakening Purification. Ceres removes existing stats weakening debuffs on her allies. Ceres is a support that is specialized in greatly improving her allies' offensive capabilities by providing stats weakening immunity, attack interference immunity, and also shooting up her allies' crit stats through the roof. Her unique barrier also provides insane durability by increasing the threshold of damage that they can mitigate, but the barrier is removable and it does not last long. Ceres' support tiles are also insanely good and can buff up to 5 units in a line. Ceres' main weakness as a support is her lack of any durability. Her HP stat is pathetic and she has almost little else going for her in terms of survivability. She can protect herself with her own barrier, but her barrier will only last up to 8 turns. Ceres also does not boost her allies' attack stats, so even if the crit boosts look amazing, if your units don't carry the raw stats, it may not matter. When it comes to runes for Ceres, it shouldn't be a high investment since it generally doesn't matter much. Flat HP runes are the best to go with her since her base HP values are so weak. She still may die regardless of good or bad runes, so don't be too preoccupied with her runes. I'll go over what Ceres counters. Ceres' stats weakening immunity and attack interference immunity makes her fantastic at dealing with many threats. She can help protect her allies against Hypatia's stats weakening debuffs, Deka and Ayan's stun, Iris' charm, Alicia's freeze, Martina's increased incoming damage mark, and Belisir's and Scarlet's curse. Ceres also removes existing stats weakening debuffs on her allies, which doubles her value against stats weakening debuffers. I'll go over some Ceres counters now. Ceres is incredibly fragile, so the best counter is to just hit her. Wow, that came out wrong. It makes me feel like some kind of maniac and lunatic. But yeah, Ceres is not a durable unit. Ceres' barrier might be fairly obstructive, so utilizing specialized characters can help in dealing with her. Alchi can remove barriers with her attack, whereas Ebony provides her allies with Nullifier that can remove all removable buffs, which includes Ceres crit buffs and barrier buffs. Maria is one of the best counters to Ceres formations because Maria hits a large row of units and Ceres forms naturally form long rows. Furthermore, Maria nullifies and removes all buffs on her targets before she applies her ultimate strike, which means that she'll be dealing the full brunt of her additional damage to those units. Morgana and Thalos are specialized novice arena units that deal a lot of damage to units with counters, but they also carry a barrier removing component in their skill set, which makes them good counters to Ceres. Deka and Lydia have decent AoE ranges and can also remove stats enhancements, so they're excellent for removing Ceres' huge crit boost. Beatrice could do the same, but she only targets one tile. Ceres does not provide her allies with DOT immunity, so certain units can exploit DOTs and take advantage of that. Xenon is particularly dangerous, whereas Aizen and Rydal also applies DOTs as well. Ceres conceptually isn't that overbearing though. Her defensive buffs don't last long, and making her ally strong isn't anything new since Hephaestus has been doing it for a while. Just wait out the barrier and everything is far easier to deal with. So some synergies with Ceres. Ceres works with pretty much any unit. Crit boosts are valuable on many offensive and defensive units. Ceres has some funny gimmicks with Grandhilder and Floria. Since Grandhilder cannot be nullified, you can put Ceres' powerful incoming damage reduction on Grand and then put Floria's buff renewal skill on Grand and watch Grand endure almost everything. Ceres also shares a set bonus with Callie and Barbara that boosts HP. This set is mostly only relevant for World Boss to increase Callie's already staggering HP to new heights. Okay, so for my opinion, for a while Ceres was a very solid 4-star support that provided stats weakening immunity and decent crit buffs. Her rework pretty much kept that, but provided Ceres with additional new utility and an increase to 1 tile on her buff range. While those changes seem minor, it's all Ceres really needed to be very strong. Ceres is a really good support now that can make her allies nearly unkillable for a short sprint while enhancing their killing potential and providing them with 2 major immunities. 4-star supports are kind of a competitive category currently, with Hephaestus just outright being the best and Ebony being really good. But I think Ceres can hang out with the best of the 4-star supports. You could run Ceres and Hephaestus, or just run Ceres by herself. I really think that Ceres' reintroduction will give players some more flexible choices. Ceres is useful in all contents, but primarily shines in Novice Arena. She's a great PvE support too, and her flexible buff range makes her useful in Guild War as well. 4-star supports are also one of the most valuable units in Gate of Chaos, and with the new one coming, it may be a good idea to widen your 4-star support roster. So should you build Ceres? Yeah. 4-star units are not a big investment. You may have some Ceres already lying around in your inventory already, so you should be able to awaken her if you haven't already. In terms of skill levels, +6 is a decent efficient point for her since her barrier buff is now 8 turns. The next major hurdle is +10 for her stats weakening immunity, also providing attack interference immunity, which is very important if you intend to use Ceres for Novice Arena. Afterwards, nothing is too mandatory. +12 is where she gets her additional buff range, which is nice but not necessarily game changing. Her +15 spike just increases her barrier's improvement by reducing 10% more damage and providing more incoming damage reduction. It's not a huge jump, so you're fine at leaving her at +12. Overall, Ceres is a great addition to Novice Arena. I'm getting a bit tired of Hephaestus being a staple, and I don't even actively play Novice Arena. Ceres provides a bit more color to the options for 4-star supports, which is something I wholeheartedly welcome. Thanks for watching my Ceres Mercenary Spotlight. Like, subscribe. Yeah, you do you. Enjoy.